Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. I'm so excited to be recording episode number 3. I'm just trying to figure out the audio, so bear with me while we figure that out. It's kind of crazy because I am a girl that loves to watch YouTube, and I swear that sentence has been said by every YouTuber I love, even with 50,000 followers, a million followers. They're like, sorry, figuring out my microphone. So I guess this is a struggle everyone's dealing with. Anyways, we're gonna keep going because, like I said, I'm committing to doing vlogmas. Like, I have a very specific goal. If I'm being honest with you guys, I'm really trying to hit 1,000 followers on both YouTube and TikTok. And so, what better way than to challenge myself to not only be consistent with my content, which I pretty much am. With somebody who has about 8 to 10 pages, I think I do a decent job. But this month, I'm just challenging myself to just go all out, right? So anyways, so today we're talking about detachment, the art of detachment, what that means for me personally, like how I understand it, and how I'm just implementing it in my life, as somebody who does have an anxious attachment style. It is something that I have to master and I have to practice actively daily, because I am someone that's just highly in touch with their emotions. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I am a Scorpio. I'm a water sign, which means I feel everything so much more intensely than most people will ever understand in their lifetime. Like, some people will never go through the type of range of emotions that exist within me that have always been there since I was a kid. Like, I've always been a very eccentric person, and part of that is because of my ability to be empathetic and, I guess, being an empath, and on top of that, just dealing with my own emotions as a woman, just feeling everything like a lot deeper than what most people can feel. And luckily, I've been in a position in my life to have friends and, relationships like my marriage where we engage as deeply in feelings, but nonetheless I feel a lot. So part of the issue that women end up having is not an issue, but it's just something that occurs, is because generally speaking we are more in touch with our emotions. We do feel more, so we also tend to feel more when it comes to relationships as well. So that typically means we're putting in and we're pouring in more than we're getting, unfortunately. And it really, really sucks because it's in our nature to want to be giving and help people and overly compensate, and just show that you love someone. And most of the time, you're never, ever, like, you're getting it back in return, but it's never going to look the way that you haven't. So one of the reasons you want to detach is because it stops you from leaning into that behavior, that natural tendency to overcompensate, so you can actually see the rhythm of situations, right? So that's one reason why detachment is important, because you're, as a woman, or even as someone who's just highly caring, man or woman, your default is to lean in and do more, when in fact that can cause a lot of damage in the relationship, because it causes the other person to what? They become lazy, and nobody wants a lazy person, or partner, whether that be your friend or in your relationship. You want both of you guys to be reciprocating each other on a consistent basis. So detaching allows that reciprocation to actually happen. And so even in those moments of uncomfort, and trust me, I have them like 10 times a day, where I want to like reach out, or I get really upset, or I want to push something forward, I have to be mindful, and take a step back and go, one, detach from the feeling at the moment, because most of the time it feels like more than it is. But number two, if you really want to see how it's going to play out, you really just have to allow people and situations to rise to the occasion. Like, anytime I'm pushing too much, it feels like I'm pushing too much, and it shouldn't feel that way. It should feel like whatever you're dealing with energetically should be a push and a pull. It shouldn't be you pushing, 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 because guess what? At the end of that, you're going to be exhausted and probably have a nervous breakdown after that. Like, you're going to feel like you've given everything and that person's just taken. And no relationship can work long term when someone's always giving and the other one's taking. Both have to be equally giving and taking. And so detachment is important, so you can allow that natural reciprocity that's supposed to occur within friendships and relationships to happen on its own. And sometimes it might even come off like, oh, you're being cold or alone. No, we're just allowing relationships to naturally develop. And that is, as an adult, is something that's hard, but it still has to be done, right? Because at the end of the day, we want to feel needed by our friends, by our loved ones, by everybody, right? And so reciprocity has to happen. And so how do you get there? You learn to detach. You detach from the outcome, you detach from the expectations. And the way that you are able to detach is by first setting specific boundaries, okay? Which tomorrow's episode will be on boundaries, not today, but detachment happens when you go, okay, here are the principles of my lifestyle. Like, here are the things I will tolerate, and here are the things that I won't. Right here, there's this set of things, right? And then you end up engaging with people, and you express that. You express it to them. You go, these are the things I will tolerate, and these are the things that I won't tolerate, right? And if they know that, and you've clearly laid it out, and I'm talking about text message, on the phone, do not be somebody that's passive and very vague about your boundaries. Be very clear about them multiple times so that when you do need to walk away for good, it's like, yeah, I set a boundary with you and you violated it, and we were very clear on that, and you know it, right? But that allows you to detach easier because now you're going to see who actually respects you and essentially who doesn't, right? And so those are my things with a detachment. Why is it important for you? Because you're gonna actually get to see how relationships would transpire in a really organic way. Like, and again, this is for if you're somebody that leans into overcompensating. It's training yourself not to do that, training yourself to allow people to show up for you or not, right? And so detachment leans into let them, right? It involves you detaching from the expectations and the outcome of a person and letting things to occur how they're going to, because it's going to happen anyways. And then let that leans into let them, because now that you've detached, you can actually let them show up or not show up. And then now you have her answer. You go, oh, if I don't push, you're not there. So now I know you don't care. Right? You're allowed to see relationships for what they are, or the opposite, where you can see someone really step in and start making plans and they lean into the care for you. That's also a beautiful thing as well, because that means they hear you, they're listening to you, they see you, and they want to actually be there for you. So learning to detach is so important because it will save you a lot of heartbreak, a lot of confusion, because all it leaves is for people to just show you their natural behaviors and tendencies, and you can make a decision from there, right? So if you want to see how real or authentic relationships are, stop pushing, stop being the one that initiates, stop overcompensating, detach from the situation and see how it shows up organically in your life. And usually there is where the answers are. So that is going to end today's episode. Your girl has to go to the gym. Let me know what you guys think. Please make sure you subscribe. Share with somebody you think that would benefit from hearing this. I love listening to content like this. So I said, why not make content like I love, So this is just me making stuff I love. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.